Good morning. It's about 7:30 and camped out last night, a makeshift campsite, and it's about 7:30, hitting the trail and planning to be at Woods Hole Hostel today. We have about 11 and a half or 12 miles to go to get to them. It is the oldest hostel on the trail, and it is being run by a woman named Neville, who has taken it over from her grandparents who used to run it. And it's on an organic farm, and it's just one of those hostels that's a don't miss on the trail. So that's where we're headed today. We've made good miles the last couple days in order to get ourselves into a place where we can do a shorter day. We should be in just after lunchtime, and it's all good. It's all good. So headed off. Looks like it should be a fairly good day. We have one big climb, and that should be it for the day. All right, here we go. Of the day. And looks like we've got a little rolling terrain headed to the hostel 5 miles from here. Oh, let's go see what this is. And since I only had 12 miles to go today, I'm just taking it slow and hiking on my own so I can just do my own thing and have no pressure. Wow, is this phenomenal. The mountains and the hills here sure are different than North Carolina and Tennessee. You definitely feel that we're not in the Smokies anymore. But this is gorgeous. So, update on sneakers. I have decided to go back to the trail runners after a couple of days of trying running shoes. The running shoes, the cushioning was great, but the lateral stability did turn out to be a problem, to the point where I was getting hot spots on my feet from the amount that they were moving around inside the shoe. And despite trying different lacing techniques, and it just seemed to be part of the running shoe. So I will be sending those home. When I sent home my other gear, today at Woods Hole Hostel, I am getting a mail drop, and that's where I will be getting summer clothes. I will be keeping my 0 degree bag for a little bit longer, just as a emergency measure as I get rid of my other winter things, and I'll swap out my 40 degree bag as I feel like it's a good time to do it. But the evenings are still, 30, 40 degrees, and the 40 degree bag is really comfortable when it's like 50, 60 degrees. So, there's a little bit of gap there. My 0 is probably a little warm. I sweat a little bit in it at night right now, but it's not terrible, and I do love the coziness of it. So it's a comfort item. All right, so Woods Hole Hostel, the oldest hostel on the Appalachian Trail, and is being run by Neville, who is the granddaughter of the couple that originally started the hostel. And it is on an organic farm. Folks cook meals community style and eat together. And there's yoga offered for free with the stay. And I'm really looking forward to this. This is probably sooner than I would have stayed at a hostel, but there are 3 hostels all within about 80 miles of each other that all have really nice reputations. The Quarterway Inn, where we stayed, now Woods Hole Hostel, and then 12 miles north of Woods Hole is the town of Pearisburg and Angel's Rest Hiker Hostel. And I will be staying there tomorrow night as well, because then we have like 100 miles where there's nothing. So I've got to look at my maps a little bit and see how to figure out my food for that period and see if there are any resupplies at all. But it's an exciting part of trail coming up. I guess every part of the trail has its exciting sections, but McAfee Knob will be coming up in 100 miles, so that's something fun to look forward to. Truly, you know, one of those highlights on the trips for people. So I'm 620 or 25 miles in as of today, and can honestly say my favorite part so far has been the Grayson Highlands. I just loved being out in the open for hours on end, and the diversity of the terrain. Of course, the horses. We did hear stories from our friend Inaday when she was coming through there, that there were bears right around. There's a shelter that has a double-decker shelter that's right outside of the fenced-in part of Grayson Highlands. And Grayson Highlands has been getting a tremendous amount of bear activity, and there are signs all over. And there were 2 bears sitting outside of the shelter as people ate dinner, and they kept trying to shoo them away. And so it's real, and the bears are out this year. And then another friend that was coming up the trail to the shelter, and he was coming later in the dark with his headlamp on, and there was a bear sitting right in the middle of the trail, and didn't seem to be bothered by him at all, but he was intimidated to go around the trail and couldn't quite get the bear to move, so he was just making lots of noise, and it took him a long time to get the bear to get off the trail so he could make progress. So just kind of interesting stories that you hear, even a couple days down the line. If I see him, Jim, and I already know this story that happened to him, it's just kind of a funny thing that happens. The word travels up the trail. So it's been a really nice section, really enjoying Virginia. Feeling a little tired today, a little sluggish. I'm glad that 3 20-mile days in a row is coming to an end today with just a 12-mile day. I guess my body was ready for that. And, even though I'll be getting some 20-mile days in, that will not be every day. I am definitely hearing my body say that it's capable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I should do it every day. So I need to take good care of myself while I'm doing this. So that is all for now, and I'm looking forward to showing you Woods Hole Hostel this evening. Hostel. And I see Blue over there, and I see Trigger, and I see my safari tent up on the hillside. What a lovely farm. This is the bathhouse, which is really pretty ingenious. They've got loaner clothes for laundry, towels. They have these shower rooms. And then they also have toilet rooms. So, and it's clean. What a wonderful space. Super Mario, and you hiked 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And you're back doing volunteer work here?
Yep.
Awesome.
Cooking, mowing the lawn, fixing the irrigation system, and anything else that Neville needs.
Anything else that pops up, it's perfect. And we've got cold frames full of lettuce and herbs.
Never a lack of things to do.
Absolutely. Look at all these cold frames. It's wonderful. Our friend Denali just arrived with his dog, which is getting the house dog a little excited. This is the bunkhouse right ahead of us. Fire pit. Is that all right? You in witness protection?
If you pay now, don't even mark it down.
Okay. You guys take card?
Yes, we take card.
It's beautiful floors in here. And I want to show you my safari tent. This is where I'm staying tonight. The house is down here, and the shower room and the bunkhouse. And I am up here. It's got electricity, propane heat, if I need it. It's all screened in, and it's got my own bed. Isn't it beautiful?